Hello, and welcome back to episode of Steven Gets Frustrated with Python. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I wonder why is my microphone too loud? Let me see. Let's see. I feel like my microphone changes. I feel like my system settings change a lot. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. This is really quiet, I think. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Yes, this is very quiet. Okay. Let's go up a little bit. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, hey, Noel. What's up, man? All right, the mic sounds fine for you. Then I'll leave it as it is. But if it sounds like it's peaking, let me know. All right. Let's see. What are you working on? Mic's fine for me. I'm working on some building large language model stuff. So I bought a book and I'm working through it right now. Mohammed Avez, what's up? How are you doing? Thanks for the comment. Appreciate the chat. Noel, it's been a minute since I've seen you in my chat. But I will definitely never forget the guy named Noel. I think the last time I saw you or chatted with you, I made a joke about how Noel is like $1 billion mistake. Yeah, you guys let me know if my mic is peaking, if it's like harsh and sounds too loud or something. It looks okay, but I was listening to one of my videos earlier today and I thought maybe I sounded like I felt like my mic didn't sound very good. Although I mean obviously I could probably do with a better mic, but I'm trying to make do with what I got. All right, picking up where we left off. So where we left off last night we're basically trying to create a data loader using PyTorch. And I think I already have that done. Build a large language model. Here we go. Yeah, man, I haven't been on YouTube that much lately, much less live streams. Fair enough. Noel, what have you been doing instead? You've been working, being productive? What have you been up to? Or maybe work's just real busy. Maybe life's just real busy. The data returned from this data set looks like when we combine the data set with a PyTorch data loader. This will bring additional intuition and clarity. Okay, so we need to implement this. So I'm just going to make a new module in here, call it PyTorch example. Logan, coffee. Yes, coffee, Logan. Yes, all the caffeine. Can't go without caffeine. So yeah, I've been working on remaking the game I'm working on. Had a prototype, but it's a mess. First time in Game Maker Studio 2. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that. Game Maker Studio 2. Interesting. That's cool. What's the game about, Noel? Or I guess what kind of game, right? It's like RPGs, like a shooter. Brayden, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, Brayden? How you doing? Professor Oak, late night stream. Yeah, I don't know, man. The day kind of got away from me. I meant to stream at like lunchtime, and then stuff came up, and so now I'm getting it in now. Typical anime. What game is that? The thing on my screen is not a game at all. It's just Python code. Top-down zombie shooter because we don't have enough of those. Hey man, I say make what you want to make, you know? What the heck have I done? Oh, I caps lock. I turned caps lock on. Jesus, I hate it when I do that. I swear, you turn caps lock on in NeoVim, it's like you've destroyed the universe. Drop last num workers. I think he meant what game is Noel making. Oh yeah, if you're talking to Noel, I'm sure Noel will be happy to answer some questions about the game he's making. Too many positional arguments. Okay, well we're just gonna ignore you because it's not my code. That's code I took from somebody else. Let's see. Found 8 spaces, expected 4. Okay, so now I need to import this stuff. import GPT data. I think I want from GPT. There we go. Then I want import tick talking. Typical animes. I'm a game developer for Roblox, if you know Roblox. Oh, okay, interesting. Very cool, typical animes. I can't pronounce your username. The guy who said sorry, I'm not sure what you're referring to. And I apologize that I can't pronounce your username. Let's see. I definitely need this, I think. I'm just gonna ignore some of these comments. Not your guys' comments, but the diagnostics from NeoVim. What you making? Hey, Artwork Studios, how you doing? I'm not really making anything at the moment. I bought this book called Building Large Language Models, and I'm kind of working my way through it. So I'm kind of studying, but at the same time, I'm talking to you guys. So, how are you doing, Artwork Studios? Let's see if this runs. Cool. How about you? I'm doing well, man. Yeah, no complaints. Just hanging out. You know, had a good Monday, productive day. Now put the kids to bed, drinking some iced coffee, and just working on some side projects. Nothing too exciting. You know what? Actually, I forgot before I always forget to do this. I need to activate my virtual environment. So I don't know why my I don't know why NeoVim's saying it can't unable to import tick token. I don't know why it's huh. must not have something configured correctly. Okay, let's see if it runs though, because that's the real important bit. Okay, it blew up on me. Oh, because I forgot to actually pass it the file path that I worked so hard to create. This window is just a little bit too... How do I decrease the width? There you go. Oh, this is painful. I need to come up with a better way to do this. Oh god. Okay, that's a little better. I tell you what, streaming vertically just doesn't give you a lot of real estate to work with. Artwork Studios, what OS are you daily driving? My guess is Windows. Indeed, Artwork Studios. I like my Windows. What about you? What are you daily driving? I definitely have it in mind to at some point take Linux for a spin, but as a daily driver. But for right now, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Given I also do content creation, there's also some productivity tools that I like that are supported on Windows. And the thing is too, honestly, Artwork Studios, Windows 10, yeah, nice. I'm on Windows 11. The thing with Linux is like I can get to Linux whenever I want to because I have WSL. And I also have my own Linux server. I have 2 of my own VPSs. So if I ever want to do Linuxy things and have a Linux workflow, I can. So it's like I kind of have the best of both worlds at the moment. So yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really, to me, there's not a whole lot of motivation or benefit aside from just having more experience working with the Linux OS. Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. All right, let's try this again. Now that I corrected my... WSL is broken on your PC. Hey, it worked. Let's go. I think that's exactly what he showed in the book too. Yep. There we go. Okay. Nice. What did you do to WSL, Artwork Studios? How did you break it? The first batch variables contains 2 tensors. The first tensor stores the input token IDs, and the second tensor stores the target token IDs. Since the max length is set to 4, each of the 2 tensors contains 4 token IDs. Note that an input size of 4 is quite small and only is chosen for simplicity. It is common to train LLMs with input sizes of at least 256. To understand the meaning of stride, let's fetch another batch from this dataset. If we compare the first and second, we can see that the second batch's token IDs are shifted by 1 position. For example, the second ID in the first batch's input is 367, which is the first ID of the second batch's input. Okay, yeah. Alright. The stride setting dictates the number of positions the inputs shift across batches, emulating a sliding window approach. Okay, that makes sense. So that's the sliding window idea. I knew we were going to come back to that at some point. Let's see. Boston. Hey, Boston. How are you, man? Good to see you again. I accidentally deleted the folder manually and now it registers as a program, but I can't run it or reinstall it. Oh, man. You were tinkering around with some stuff there. Yeah, and I'm guessing to resolve that, there probably is some invasive work you need to do or something. But yeah, that kind of sucks. But just get yourself a VPS and you'll be good. Boston Sports Cards, is your wife's toe better than it was last week? Um, Artwork Studio, what happened? I'm new here. So Boston Sports Cards, first of all, I'm doing good. So how are you doing? I'm doing well. Um, my wife's toe is okay. It's like all bruised up and banged up, but it's healing. We go back in, let's see, another 2 weeks. We go back week after next to make sure that she doesn't need surgery. So the doctor said there's a very low chance of that, but we have to go back and get another x-ray taken just to make sure it looks all hunky-dory. Surf Legion, there's only 20 people watching. You need more. Well, I appreciate that, Surf Legion. 20 is more than I would ever expect to watch, so I appreciate the 20 that are here very much. Boston, oh, at least it's healing. Yeah, it's for sure. I mean, I think the biggest positive has been it seems like, and I don't want to totally speak for her, but it seems like her pain is more controlled than it was the first couple days. So that's good. I mean, it's just, when you're in pain, it's hard to do anything and focus on anything. So yeah, so that's a plus. Okay, let's see. We got our tensors. We can see that we're shifting a position. So this is the window. So you have 40, 36 as the input here. And then the next input has 36, 288. And so these are our inputs. And then this is what we hope that the LLM will predict. This tensor down here, the next tensor. Okay, cool. So we're making progress. Batch sizes of 1, such as we have sampled here from the data loader so far, are useful for illustration purposes. If you have previous experience with deep learning, you may know that small batch sizes require less memory during training, but lead to more noisy model updates. Just like in regular deep learning, the batch size is a trade-off and a hyperparameter to experiment with when training LLMs. Okay, interesting. So batch size is something you can tinker with. Logan and Boston have met up in my chat. That's good. I'm glad you guys are hanging out. Okay, so now what do we want to do? Let's look briefly at how we can use the data loader to sample with a batch size greater than 1. Okay, so now here we're saying we have a batch size of 8, we have a max length of 4, and we have a stride of 4, which means that window's going to move 4 positions at a time. Yeah, note that we increase the stride to 4 to utilize the data set fully. We don't skip a single word. This avoids any overlap between the batches, since more overlap could lead to increased overfitting. I'm not sure I know what that means. Increased overfitting. There's a lot of words. There's a lot of words here that, like, I could probably spend half a day going down a rabbit hole. And it's taking everything in my body not to get distracted and go off running down the rabbit hole. I'm just gonna take a note real quick and just say, what the heck? What the hell? What the hell is overfitting? Alright, now we're at the point where we can create some token embeddings. Hey, look at us. Artwork Studios, what's your favorite game engine? Artwork Studios, I'm terrible I'm terrible to answer that question because I've really done very little game development. I have a coworker who does quite a bit of game development with Unity, and he speaks very highly of it, but I've never used it. So I'll take your recommendations happily. Also, Bassa and Logan, I'm just going to let you guys talk. I'm just going to skip over your guys' comments because, or your chat, your messages, because they don't seem to be oriented towards me, which is totally cool. I don't, you know, if people want to hang out in my chat, that's totally cool. I don't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you. Okay. So I kind of, Unity is cool. I prefer Godot as it's open source. So let's see, Godot, is that C#? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I've not done any game development. Pretty much everything. But maybe we should do some game development. This looks kind of fun. I'm supposed to be learning about large language models, artwork studios, and now you're distracting me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Godot is super lightweight as well, which is amazing. I haven't tried out the node system yet, though. Hey, Hunter, what's up, man? How are you? All right, I'm going to bookmark this. Let's see. I have a list. I have a running list of things I want to do on stream. And I'm going to add this one to it. Excuse me. Try out Godot. LOL. Let's see. W Boston, W Logan. We're all getting W's in the chat. I like it. You get a W and you get a W. Yo, what's up, my guy? Hey, Carter, how are you, man? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping in, saying hi. So the last step in preparing the input text for LLM training is to convert the token IDs into embedding vectors. These embedding weights with random values. This initialization serves as the starting point for the LLM's learning process. In Chapter 5, we will optimize the embedding weights as part of the LLM training. A continuous vector representation or embedding is necessary since GPT-like LLMs are deep neural networks trained with back propagation algorithm. Interesting. There seems like there's a whole slot to unpack there in that sentence. Artworks. Gotta leave in a few minutes, but I'd like to spend those minutes here before leaving. Hey, I appreciate that, Artwork Studios. Nice. Appreciate you. Let's see. Noel, dark mode notepad, a man of quality. I appreciate that, Noel. Yeah, I try to do dark mode everything. This ebook is kind of blinding me right now, honestly. What is the live stream? Hey, Evan, how are you doing? What is the live stream today? I'm learning about how to build large language models, and then obviously talking to you guys. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling. I thought did I miss? No, I saw Carter's message. Okay, cool. Suppose we have the following 4 input tokens. For the sake of simplicity, suppose we have a small vocabulary of only 6 words, and we want to create embeddings of size 3. So we have a vocab size of 6, and we have an output dimensions of 3. We can instantiate an embedding layer in PyTorch, setting the random seed to 123 for reproducibility purposes. This print statement prints the embedding layer's underlying weight matrix. The weight matrix of the embedding layer contains small random values. These values are optimized during LLM training as part of the LLM optimization itself. Moreover, we can see that the weight matrix has 6 rows and 3 columns. There is 1 row for each of the 6 possible tokens in the vocabulary, and there is 1 column for each of the 3 embedding dimensions. The return embedding vector is in other words, the embedding layer is essentially a lookup operation that retrieves rows from the embedding layer's weight matrix via a token ID. Okay, that was that sentence is worth its weight in gold right there. It's doing a lot of work. But that really helps understand what the heck your embedding layer is about. It's like a dictionary. It's like a giant dictionary. Let's see. Noel, 13, working on game dev. You're more productive than me at that age. LO, keep it up for sure. You won't regret it. Some others that has access to the channel has varying ages, not big gaps though. Yeah, Godot is fun. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out, Artwork Studios. Yeah, Noel, I feel ya. That's not, at 13, I was not doing anything with programming or coding either. Okay, we've seen how to convert a single token into a 3-dimensional embedding vector. Now let's apply that to all 4 inputs, all 4 input IDs. Having now created embedding vectors from token IDs, next we'll add a small modification to these embedding vectors to encode positional information about a token within a text. Alright. Hold on, I should probably make the embedding layer. I didn't do that. Well, how does that relate to any of the code I have here? It doesn't. It's just a whole separate thing. Artwork Studios. Wow, a lot of words I barely understand. Yeah, I feel you, Artwork Studio. Same here, man. Evan, I have to go today. It's my girlfriend's birthday, and I want to get her a present. Okay, Evan. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out for a bit, buddy. Have a good day, man. In principle, token embeddings are a suitable input for an LLM. However, a minor shortcoming of LLMs is that their self-attention mechanism, see Chapter 3, we haven't gotten to Chapter 3, doesn't have a notion of position or order for the tokens within a sequence. The way the previously introduced embedding layer works is that the same token ID always gets mapped to the same vector representation, regardless of where the token ID is positioned in the input sequence. Okay, input text, token IDs to embed. You have your weight matrix of the embedding layer, embedding vector of the first token ID, embedding vector of the third token ID. Fox jumps over dog. Fox jumps over dog. So the embedding layer converts, okay, so the same token ID results in the same embedding vectors. In principle, the deterministic position-independent embedding of the token ID is good for reproducibility purposes. However, since the self-attention mechanism of LLMs itself is also position agnostic, it is helpful to inject additional positional information to the LLM. Interesting. So you actually have to, so I guess because the position of the word could theoretically carry meaning or semantic meaning, you sort of want to be able to capture that in the embedding. That's kind of interesting. We can use two broad categories of position-aware embeddings: relative position embeddings and absolute position embeddings. Artworks. What's Obsidian? Obsidian is a productivity tool. It's like a note-taking app. That's what I use for note-taking. But one of the cool features is it has this idea of like links or references to one another, so you can kind of build this. You basically end up building kind of like a mind map. This like a graph of your notes, so you can kind of see like how things are related to one another, which is kind of cool. And then if things aren't related, they're just, you know, they're like broken pieces of the graph. But if they are related, which is kind of nice, because like I try to organize it like around books I've read or videos I've watched or people I've seen a lot of content of, and kind of tie things together, which is kind of nice. Hunter says Minecraft kid. Yeah, the tool, yeah. It's yeah, Artwork Studios, yeah. I really enjoy it. It's got a lot of cool plugins too. It's got a lot of community support. Like one of my favorite plugins it has is it supports Escaladraw. So if you ever use, I don't know if you're familiar with Escaladraw, but I use Escaladraw quite a bit every day, and I like the ability to be able to save them in Obsidian, which is kind of nice. You know, if you're trying to diagram a process or a flow chart. So yeah, it's a nice tool. I'd highly recommend it. Artwork Studio, like VS Code? No, not really like VS Code. It's purely more designed for organization or like knowledge organization. So you wouldn't write code in it, but you could definitely use it to plan, right? Like you could definitely, and I think VS Code has an Excalidraw plugin now too. If I'm not mistaken. They have a draw.io integration, but I think they also have an Excalidraw integration now. But yeah, it's just my note. It's just kind of my note-taking app of choice at the moment. I don't even know what Hunter and Boston are talking about. Not, I mean, not Hunter. I mean, Boston, Hunter, and Logan. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Crickets, bugs, beetles. Random. Y'all are random. To achieve this, we can use two broad. Okay, I already read that. Absolute positional embeddings are directly associated with specific positions in a sequence. Okay, I should probably capture this idea. So you have relational positional versus absolute positional embeddings. Absolute are directly associated with specific positions. Relative instead of focusing on the absolute position of a token, the emphasis of relative positional token is on the relative position or distance between tokens. So are associated with the relative position or distance between tokens. This means the model learns the relationship in terms of how far apart rather than at which exact positions. The advantage here is that the model can generalize better to sequences of varying lengths, even if it hasn't seen such lengths during training. Okay, so relative positional embeddings allow the model to generalize better to sequences of varying lengths. I don't know what the hell's going on in my chat. Oh, man, you guys have just taken the chat and a completely. Catch you next stream if I could. Okay, Artwork Studio, see ya. You have a good night, man. Okay, so the choice between the embedding. So the choice between relational and absolute depends on application and nature of the data being processed. Interesting. OpenAI's GPT models use absolute positional embeddings that are optimized during the training process rather than being fixed or predefined like the positional encodings in the original transformer model. This optimization process is part of the model training itself. For now, let's create the initial positional embeddings to create the LLM inputs. Okay. All right, let's do this. Night, I gotta go to school. Oh wait, yeah, time zones. Yeah, yeah. You have a good day, Artwork Studios. Sorry about that, man. I always forget not everyone's hanging out in my time zone. Sorry about that, man. Uh-oh, the yawning's starting. The yawning is starting. That means it's getting close to an hour. You guys are doing push-ups? Good, I'm glad. You better get all those push-ups in. And we're talking about JoJo Siwa in the chat. I have no idea what the heck is going on here. I don't understand. Although, since you guys are entertaining yourselves, this makes it much... I feel much less guilty about just focusing on this. Artwork Studios, K, bye. See you next stream. Yeah, see you, man. Have a good night. Stop in anytime. As you see I'm live, jump in. Now let's use the embedding layer to embed these token IDs into 256 dimensional vectors. Yeah, so we have 8 by 4 by 256. I'm terrible at push-ups. Hey, go do some more, man. You'll be better. You just got to get reps, man. And that's everything in life. You want to be good at anything, you just need more reps. Okay, for a GPT model's absolute embedding approach, we just need to create another embedding layer that has the same embedding dimensions as the token embedding layer. The input to the position embeddings is usually a placeholder vector torch.arrange, which contains a sequence of numbers 0, 1 up to the maximum input length. The context length is a variable that represents the supported input size of the LLM. Here we choose it similar to the maximum length for the input text. In practice, input text can be longer than the supported context length, which in case we have to truncate the text. The output of the print statement, yeah. Okay, so this is the idea of, this is why models have a context window, huh? As we can see, the positional embedding tensor consists of 4 256 dimensional vectors. We can now add these directly to the token embeddings, where PyTorch will add the 4 by 256 dimensional position embeddings tensor to each 4 by 256 dimensional token embedding tensor in each of the 8 batches. And then we're basically back to 8 by 4 by 256. I think I'm following this, but I feel like maybe I need to go back and read this again. I'm not going to do that on stream, but I feel like it would help if I went back and reread this. But I feel like I'm following. So basically you have to create a tokens layer. Then you create a positional embedding layer, and then you combine those. Or you generate a token embedding layer to produce your token embeddings, then a positional embedding layer to produce your positional embeddings, then you combine those embeddings. The input embeddings we created as summarized in 2.19 are the embedded input examples that can now be processed by the main LLM modules, which we will begin implementing in the next chapter. Oh, this is a really good I love diagrams like this. Hold on. I missed a couple. Level 2 farmer, what are you making? I'm not making really anything. I'm more of learning how large language models are built. So I'm going through a book that's teaching me about their architecture and how you would kind of pseudo build one yourself. Let's see. Light Dom Pro asked the same thing. And it looks like Light Dom Pro already figured out. Yeah, so it's basically learning about how to build large language models. Light Dom Pro, making your own AI. Yeah, it's definitely not making my own AI though. I don't want to mislead anybody. I'm not building my own foundation models. I'm just kind of learning about the architecture and the steps involved that people use to build those large foundation models. I have no idea what's going on with Logan, Boston, and Hunter, but it sounds like you guys are working it out. But I've not been keeping up with you guys. Y'all went in a completely different direction on the stream this evening. Who is the Pickles? Who is this incredibly handsome man? Well, that's so nice of you, Pickles. You're gonna make me blush. Although Pickles, it's funny you say that. Somebody in my stream earlier today said I have an incredibly large forehead and a receding hairline. So I get a mixture of all the compliments. Hunter says pickled. I guess you could call it that. Oh, I want to snip this because this is a really good diagram. I love diagrams. Love them. That's why I like Excalidraw. I like to draw boxes with arrows. I know people laugh at that sometimes, but that's just how my brain works. When I want to understand something, I draw boxes and arrows. Light Dom Pro. I am also good at LLM, but never created my own except some words detector which react to your query. Huh, interesting, Light Dom. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. I'm definitely not claiming I'm good at building large language models. I'm just learning about it. I've used a lot of foundation models like via API, right? Like calling OpenAI or Anthropic, but I haven't ever actually done any of the machine learning part of it, like where the models actually get trained and built. So that's what I'm trying. That's why I'm reading the book. Boston, Stephen, Logan left. Yeah, no worries, man. People can come and go as they please. Hunter says police officer. No police officer here. Boston sports cards. Bye, Hunter and Stephen. Yep. See you, Boston. Have a good night. But thanks for hanging out with us. All right. Now we're on to the chapter 3. Look at us. Now we're talking about coding attention mechanisms. At this point, you know how to prepare the input text for training LLMs by splitting text into individual word and subword tokens, which can be encoded into vector representations or embeddings for the LLM. Yes, I think I know how to do that. Hold on, let's look at the code I've written so far. I don't know if I understand all this code. So all the data loader does is it just reads in my file. But it also encodes it at the same time. Not encodes it, tokenizes it at the same time. So it loads the text, tokenizes it, and then once it's tokenized, that's where down here I generate my embedding. So I convert the tokens to embeddings. And I'm using PyTorch to generate the embedding layers. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to read that chapter again. Because I think if someone was to ask me, hey, take this file, tokenize it, and embed it, I don't know if I would. Maybe what I'll do is I'll work through the book in Python and then try to re-implement everything in TypeScript or something, just as another way to study it and to better understand it. Let's see. Is things popping off in the chat here? Let's see. Logan, I had to go for a bit to get my. What was it that bad? Hunter says, "Was it that bad?" Yeah, Logan. I mean, it sounds a little dramatic there, Logan. Logan Boston left. Let's see. Ebenezer? I think that's what your name is. Ebenezer? What are you reading? I'm reading a book called Building Large Language Models. I'm kind of reading, but also writing some code at the same time. A little of both. But I'm probably not, honestly, Ebenezer, I'm probably not on for much longer. Actually, I'm not even going to start chapter 3. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set this down. So I'm going to stop here. And I think what I'm actually going to do is I want to make a video about test containers. You guys ever heard of test containers? Anybody here that writes code or programs, have you heard of test containers? Also, at some point I'm going to come back to this because this looked like fun. Okay, well, if none of you have, if any of you guys that are in the chat write code or like to program, why can't I get to my Internet Explorer? Or not, I just said Internet Explorer, not Internet Explorer Edge. I don't know why I said that. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want to show you test containers. Ebenezer, no clue. So test containers, so if you write code or you write programming, test containers is like the coolest piece of technology for writing tests because you can literally have like an integration. They provide a bunch of SDKs for a lot of different languages, right? So you can see if you write in Python, you can use it. If you're writing Node, .NET, Go, Java, it's there. But what's really nice is that basically you can spin up containers in your code, right? And then you can use those containers in your tests. So imagine like one of my favorite use cases for using it is for doing like integration tests with like a database. So let's see if they have a Postgres example here, right? So you can imagine you want to do some integration testing, and so you can actually spin up a container, a Postgres container, in memory, and then do stuff with it, right? Which is pretty freaking sweet. And it uses, I think it uses Docker under the hood to run your containers. You know, if you want to run your tests in something like a CI/CD environment like GitHub Actions, Docker's right there, right? So you can literally run integration tests or even end-to-end tests against like real services, which is pretty cool. But I want to make a video about it, so I'm going to set up a little, what do I want to call this? I'm just going to call this tasks API. And then let's .NET new web API, and we'll call this the, what do we call this? I bet you guys can guess. We're gonna call this the tasks API, because I am an expert at naming things. Okay, and then let's say .NET SLN or .NET new SLN, and this will be tasks API, and then .NET SLN add. Yeah, add that guy. Nice, yeah. Sogo Hotel. Press Alt F4 to open new container. What? No, in PowerShell that just closes all my tabs, man. What are you talking about? Sogo. Azim Khan, what's up, sir? Hey, Azim, how are you, man? Doing well? Doing well, sir. I am just fiddling around. I was learning about building large language models. I was reading a book, and now I'm kind of working through setting up a little test API for oh, I'm going blank, for a video. I'm working on setting up kind of a playground project for a video I want to make. Okay, so let's clean up this template a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. .NET new editor config. Because we gotta have them sweet formatting configurations. Excuse me. Also, indent sizes larger than 2 are against all that is holy in the world. I just cannot stand big indent sizes. Can't take it. Can't take it. Does anybody else have little pet peeves like that? I just can't do tab sizes of 4. It's just too much wasted white space, in my opinion. Alright, so we want to have map open API. We're just gonna follow all the coding conventions it wants us to. It's fine. Okay, I don't need this endpoint. We can delete this. We can delete this. We can delete these. Okay, basically what I want here is I just want like a very simple CRUD I just want like a very simple CRUD endpoint, right? I just want like an endpoint to add a task and to get a task, essentially. Actually, let's just do an endpoint that just adds a task, right? Because when I'm making a video about this, I kind of want to keep it like super simple. I don't want to get really caught up in the API side of it. So we're just going to have app.map post. And this is just going to be tasks. Like that. Actually, I am gonna have a get. Let's see. This is gonna be app.map get tasks ID. Let's see, with name. And this can be return. But can I pass it? Let's see. Created. Created at route. I think I can pass it. Yeah, created at route. There you go. I think I just want like an anonymous like that. Add task. Totally get it if you guys don't want to watch me put this together, but I figure if I want to make the video I want to make, I need to get this set up so that I can actually record the video. And so I'm going to take advantage of the time I have right now while sitting at the computer to do this. That's fine for now. Okay, so then the idea is, right, so the idea will be basically that we are going to inject some sort of context, some sort of DB context into these route handlers, and we're actually going to do things with a database through these API endpoints. But to do it, we're going to write tests that use test containers to spin up an actual MongoDB instance as part of our integration tests. So we're actually hitting an actual database in memory. Where's the 18+ warning for explicit code? Where's the explicit code, man? Oh, that one went woo over my head. I get what you mean. Yeah. They want me to use explicit types, man. What are you going to do? All right, so then I think I'll just use MongoDB as the context because that's probably the easiest. So we need to add a package for that. So let's go MongoDB C# driver. Yep, we need this. We need this command. Backyard Gamer 93. Hey, how's it going? Hey, it's going good, man. Good to see you again. Thanks for stopping into the stream. Appreciate you. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be live for, Backyard Gamer, so if I drop on you, I do apologize. I know that kind of sucks when you guys show up and then I immediately ditch out, so. But it's going well. No complaints here, man. Just hanging out on a Monday night. Right now I'm setting up a little bit of a playground project for a video I'd like to make, so that's what I'm doing right now. All right, and then we just need to make our connection. So we'll get a connection string from config. So let's go up here, and before we build it, let's say bar connection string, and this is going to be we're not going to use get connection string. We're going to use actually just top level Mongo connection string. And then we'll just say if connection string is null, we'll just throw. Yeah, we'll just throw. And then we need to actually create that. So let's come down here really quick and let's create a class called we'll say internal class Mongo DB context, and GitHub Copilot can fill in the rest for us. Change type of variable to, oh, so we can say Mongo client like that. Also, I think I actually should, I think this needs to actually implement iDisposable if I'm gonna do this actually properly. Let's see, private read only Mongo client. That. Okay, and then what I can do up here is I can just say builder services add singleton, just like that, and now I can inject that into my actions. Let's see, Pit PRG says, what language is this? This is C#. Tax Better Man. I went live. You missed it, bro. Oh, man, I'm sorry, man. If I had known, I would have been there. Am I subscribed to you, Tax Better Man? Actually, hold on. Let me... I don't know if I'm subscribed to you on YouTube. Let me go fix that real quick. Sogo Hotel. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure. Yeah, we went to high school together. I missed this conversation. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I missed your guys' conversation. Yeah, I don't know. Logan and Boston, you both seem a little tilted this evening, so y'all should probably take a chill pill. You guys seem a little worked up, so chill. Yeah, I think Logan and Boston just, yeah, man, don't wreck the vibes. Let's see. At Tax Better Man. Okay, I hit the subscribe. It doesn't look like you have any content though. So if you were live, I don't know, maybe it takes a minute for it to upload. Yeah, no need for apologies, bros. I just I just don't want you guys going off on one another, you know? It's all just in good fun, so. Alright, so what we can do now here is we can inject so now what we can do is we can actually inject this. So we can say Mongo DB context. That's our context. And then we can come down here and actually insert it. Okay, so we can say this also needs to be async. Okay, so we can say exactly that right there. Although yeah, I don't want to use system dot threading tasks. I want to use yeah, I want to use my own tasks. I'm just gonna make this a class. Okay, so now we have an endpoint for adding a task, and now we should be able to actually retrieve the task. So MongoDB context. And you wouldn't actually, I mean, I know someone out there is probably like, why would you inject your DB context straight into your controller? You wouldn't. But for the purposes of like this little playground API, I'm doing that because I just want to illustrate the fact that test containers allows you basically the ability to run your tests against a live actual version of a database. Oh, this should be a string. Okay, nice. All right, so that was really what I wanted to set up tonight. And then when I make the video, I'm basically going to record myself setting up a test project, setting up test containers, and just walking through all that. Also, I'm going to do this by name, created at route. All right, guys. Okay, cool. Let's see. Logan and Boston. Evan, yo, back. It took me a little bit while, but I'm back. I got my girlfriend a bunch of perfume that she likes. Hey, that's awesome, Evan. That's very thoughtful of you, man. Way to go. Backyard Gamer, when do you think you'll be live again? I'll be live again tomorrow, so keep an eye out. Usually my first live is sometime in the morning. Let's see. Caden Pink, what lang? This is C#. By the way, Caden, I'm kind of wrapping up for the night, so sorry you're stopping in and I'm running out, but I was working on building a large language model, and then I switched over to setting up this little playground API for a project, or not for a project, for a video, and then now I'm getting ready to hop off. So So that's yeah, that's what we're doing. If he ends live, go to YT. Caden Pink, no worries, subscribed. Ah, that's really nice of you, Caden. I appreciate that. I'm usually live a couple times a day for about an hour or so each time. So yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all hanging out here with me on stream. I know it wasn't. Soga says, why doesn't Steven wear glasses? Because he sees sharp. Nice, man. That's a good one. I see what you did there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me. I'm going to jump off here. I've got some other stuff I need to go work on, so I'm going to go do that. But I appreciate you guys chilling with me, and I'll be back tomorrow at some point. So if you see me live tomorrow, stop on in, say hi. If not, I'll see you probably another video or another stream, another short sometime. Neekil says hello. Sorry, Neekil. I'm just wrapping up, man. I don't mean to dodge you, but I'm heading out for the evening. So I'll talk to you guys later, okay? You guys have a good rest of your Monday. I hope you have an even better Tuesday. I'll see you next time.